Yeah, man, I used to when I was young, I just played that through a Fender Twin, like the red knob Fender Twins
Wow.
with
Yeah.
a wah pedal and a tube screamer. That was it. And
Man, Murray
I
the minimalist.
I got gigs somehow with all that.
It must have been your touch, man.
Oh, I was better then, I think, in some ways. Or definitely more reckless abandon anyway.
There's the truth. That's good retrospect right there. Introspect, you could say, is
Yeah.
the fact that you're being honest about that, because when you have reckless abandonment, it's kind of like that teenage kid just going for it because he doesn't care what people
Yeah.
say. He's just,
Yeah.
compared to those of us who've been hurt more as we go on in our time,
Yeah.
and we become more guarded and jaded, and we're like,
Yeah.
I'm
And
not going to
he's
go there.
the more you learn sometimes, the more it inhibits, you know. It takes a long time to sort of like I found music school actually was great for me in so many ways because it introduced me to so many people and introduced me to so much information, but it also uh in some ways inhibited me for a while because it took me a long time as a young guy to realize what got me excited about music, what and I was trying so hard to be somebody I wasn't. And so I found it took me a while to just sort of accept who I was and what got me pumped about music and what was exciting to me. And once I realized that, I felt like my path was much clearer and moved a lot faster.
That's amazing. So let me ask you, Murray, if you were producing somebody right now, we're in the studio and we finished the production, and I said that to you. I said, Murray, you helped me just realize what my passion is on guitar, man. You just helped me producing this to draw out what I would that be like one of the biggest compliments you could ever
Oh,
get?
of course. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel yeah, that'd be a huge compliment. I mean, and if you can be an influence to someone to just help them realize who they are and be comfortable in their own skin, you know, uh, both as a person and musically, um, that's what the world needs. Is just people who are good with being who they are and 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 reaching their full potential that way. And uh, that might be a broader message, but
Somebody
but
might need to hear this right now. And this is a big deal you're talking about, Murray. This is not wisdom at 20 years old. This is wisdom
right,
over 50 right here. You're looking back, and what you're kind of alluding to is that, like, the music school kind of, they taught you something, they unlocked the knowledge, but that also
yeah,
made you aware of your lack of knowledge.
yes, for very very true, and you know, I think each music school, of course, there's going to be different teachers that are have different influence, but in some ways, I kind of felt like I was at a place where um, I was being sort of forced into trying to be something that I just really wasn't. I appreciate all the knowledge and I appreciate um, all the tools that is given, but I wish there was a bit more openness. And I hear this about music schools a lot. I
Correct.
wish there was a bit more openness in realizing that the world is a big place and there's a lot of ways of approaching things, and not necessarily this as the right path for you. You really have to figure that out yourself and come to that realization that, like, okay, how can I take this and make it me, and how can I just thrive with that? So,
So the process of intake, processing it
yeah.
in order to go back out with it, and then you're very aware of it all of a sudden. You're like, I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm doing this right. I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
doing that right. I don't know compared to this, and then because all of a sudden you're aware of it, not comfortable then in your own skin,
Yeah.
realizing that maybe I'm trying to be maybe I'm a fraud. Maybe,
Yeah.
right? I mean, because you're all of a sudden you're aware of it, and then
Yeah.
to get past that, to
Yeah.
go through that and let it just come out of you, then, and then pretty soon it becomes more about, like, and this happens in all different fields, just so everybody knows as well. This
Yes.
is just
And
music.
yeah.
This is all sorts of life and all
I'm
parts of
not
it.
saying I
Like,
think it's constant growth too. Like,
right?
man, we learn every single day.
If you
I
want
learn,
to,
yeah, if
if you
you're
let
open
it,
to it.
if you
Yeah,
let
if
it.
you're open to it. Yeah, I feel like my whole like producing it, man, it's every project, every artist, it's so different, and you have to bend and you have to figure out what makes people work
Well,
and what makes the music happen.
what people don't
You
realize, they just got sucked into this moments with Murray.
know, deep thoughts with Jack Handy.
Yeah, but but it does ring true
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
especially through the arts and entertainment type things, and even
Yeah.
sports. You see like a guy that had a passion. He played in college, like American football, and then he goes out
Yeah.
and he plays, he gets drafted. He's pushing himself, the eye of the tiger thing, right? The Rocky
Yeah.
thing. Then he makes all this money, and then it's about him, and he doesn't care anymore or something,
Yeah.
you got to revert back to that passion thing. So
Hmm.
if the passion becomes stifled by maybe that not too much head knowledge,
Hmm.
it's like getting back to that passion like you're talking about, like who am I?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
if you were in
It's a game.
college,
It's an inner game.
it is an inner game, and it's an inner game during the like playing it, like the red light syndrome thing.
Yeah.
Like I experience it all the time right now. I'm trying to learn guitar in my 50s. I'm not a guy who played in rock bands. I'm not a guy who learned growing up. I'm
Hmm.
literally trying to learn this in my 50s, and I do make videos and put them on my story. Me playing, there's one I think you saw. I don't care. I'm not playing for Dokken. I'm not playing for. I'm not trying out for Ozzy Osbourne. I don't. I'm just trying to enjoy playing, and maybe somebody else will enjoy it. So I just record it and I put it on there, and
That's the best.
I'm showing my weaknesses, but whatever. It's also my strength. I love playing guitar. I love it, and people have
Yeah.
noticed my journey, and not amazing. I'm probably never
Yeah.
gonna play in a band or have an album. I have no idea, but I don't
You
care.
never know. You
I can
never
do
know.
it, so why not do it? And I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it, and that's where I feel like you kind of resonate. So you're back in college here at this point in our story, and who was like a guitar player you thought you'd want to be like at that
To
point?
emulate?
Yeah,
Oh
to
man.
emulate. If you could just say like, if I could just go play with this guy at that point, not now.
Oh man. Uh
Would it
I
be an
was
'80s kind of thing?
yeah, I loved all that stuff, of course. I mean, there's guys like remember a guy named Michael Lee Firkins?
Sounds very familiar, but I
Man,
can't
he
say
was
who.
an incredible guitar player. I loved all these shredders and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
check
Yep.
out Michael Lee Firkins for anybody. He's got "Laughing Stacks" is the song. It was in Guitar Player magazine. They used to have those black little 45s that you could rip out of the magazine, and I heard Michael Lee Firkins on that, and it blew my
So if
mind.
you could have at that point, like if you could have been like that, you thought
Oh,
you would have
yeah,
made
I
it
just felt
probably.
like it was so innovative and so unique and different, and I was like,
Okay.
that guy's found his voice. Um, but you know what? What was funny is I realized through all of the shredding period of my life and the love of like say like Pat Metheny or something like that. Uh, I at the end of the day, what I always found myself coming back to were songs, and I just love songs, and nothing makes me happier than just sort of singing a song, and it's got three chords, G C D, and man, it resonates with me and it resonates with people. I am so happy.
So and that's a good point because songs like something like "Here Comes the Sun," right? I'm like, like that, something like that will just come right out of me real quick.
Yeah,
Whereas like an amazing guitar solo by some shredder might not do it for me in my moment of need.
yeah, I truly love songs. I love melody. It's what I feel like it's one of my strengths. I like to have that come out in my playing, and if I can ever play something that people can sing back, awesome. That to me is like golden. And do I say that because I can't really shred anymore? Maybe a little bit, but but it's kind of like I just don't have the dedication to the instrument as much as I did. I have dedication to music more so than I do to the guitar. So probably not great for a guitar podcast, but
No, it's great, but that's
but
the
I
truth of it.
my dedication is more to like what makes music work, what makes this effective, why does this affect people. Um, that to me is I feel my strength, and so I've just kind of been staying on that path. And do I love to get the yayas out and shred, or not shred, my version of shredding? Yes, I love it, and I'm still obsessed about like, oh, that's such a cool sound, and that's I love all that stuff, and like, man, I wish I could do that, but I can't.
That's all right. And that's okay.
It's all
You've been
right.
given
I'm
certain
okay.
gifts and talents and
Yeah,
opportunities. You got to take
yeah.
advantage of.
I'm comfortable with who I am.